Hey, people, it's your boy KP CeeJ, and today we're going to be talking about Xbox E3. Let's get into it.
Why did you choose the wrong side?
So Xbox E3 happened, and it was interesting. Me, myself, personally, I enjoyed it as an Xbox fan, as a Game Pass subscriber. I know that games are coming day one, launching in Game Pass, which means I don't have to spend $60 or $70 on these games. I'll just stick to my subscription, and I'll get these games through Game Pass, right? But there's still, to me, and I think Xbox did a fantastic job, there's still that missing component of something that's going to be mind-blowing. So we got the Forza Horizon, right? But racing games can be very niche. It look beautiful, but it's a racing game. And that's just me, right? And there are people that are like love racing games. But then you take in consideration, like, we wanted to see that first party action adventure game with great, intense, chaotic gameplay. Now we got Halo coming, which is, a plus, right? But I think Xbox, we still have to wait. They have 23 studios. It's a pandemic, and I understand it. And a lot of people are waiting to see like what these studios are going to do. It's still kind of have a waiting game with the Xbox ecosystem. Is like, when are we going to get these big blockbusters that are, akin to God of War and PlayStation, or akin to, Horizon's Forbidden West. We want to see when we're going to get that caliber from Xbox, and it's a waiting game. So it's more so we know it's coming. We just do not know when it's coming. For instance, Redfall, right? Everybody was like, that's one game a lot of people are saying, I need this game. This is going to be the game that I'm going to play all the time. But the question is, can we see more gameplay? When you think of E3, when you think of Summer Game Fest, we're thinking gameplay. We've seen CGI trailers. I think gamers are now exhausted after all the years of CGI trailers. We want to see more gameplay. And granted, the game comes out next summer, but a lot of people want to see more gameplay. I'm pretty sure we will get it later on, but there's still that underwhelming feeling of, we gotta wait. We gotta play the waiting game with the Xbox first party exclusives. Outside of Halo, we're gonna get Forza Horizon 5, which looks phenomenal. The Microsoft Flight Simulator, which everybody knows that's a beautiful game. But most people are just wanting to see, and they are waiting to see, like, what's going to be Microsoft's, let's say, next Gears of War or next Halo. Like, we're waiting to see what's going to be their next big game that's going to consume their time. That's going to make them feel like, oh, I need this game. This game is going to be the best thing ever. Like, that's what we're waiting to see. And I think Redfall may be that one. Or Starfield. We know Starfield is coming, which is big because a lot of people was like, maybe this will go to PlayStation. Me, myself, personally, I was like, this isn't going to PlayStation. Microsoft spent $7.5 billion to buy ZeniMax, to get the IP such as Doom, Dishonored, Fallout, Elder Scrolls, and they made a hint at Elder Scrolls 6. But those games are going to be core to the Xbox Game Pass ecosystem. Microsoft sold Game Pass. This is another case, another conference in which they said they sold us Game Pass. They didn't necessarily sell us the Xbox console. Because when you think of what the next thing they're going to do is allow people who have Xbox One consoles to stream those Xbox Series S or X exclusives. Those games that's coming exclusively to that console, you'll be able to play those on your Xbox One through the cloud. Granted, it's not native, but if you have good internet connection, you may or may not notice that little bit of latency there. So the whole ecosystem of Xbox and the whole E3 focused on Xbox Play Anywhere, being able to play with people on PC, being an ecosystem that's consumer friendly in terms of pricing. You no longer need a console. You pay $14.99. You have access to over 200. I don't know why they keep saying 100 plus games. It's a lot of games in there, and games you may or may not try. There are games that I've discovered that's like I'm never gonna play that, and then I got on my Xbox, looked through Game Pass, and I played it because these games are games that I would never buy, but because they're in Game Pass, I'm willing to try it, and I like them, and it kind of leads me to buy more games in that genre. Because I have Game Pass, that don't necessarily mean that I'm not buying games. I bought Scarlet Nexus because I was able to play demos. We want to see demos come back, right? We want to be able to try games before we buy them, because you look at Sony's formula, which is we're going to release new AAA titles, like for instance Returnal, which I think is an amazing game, but it's $70. It's $70. Whereas you think of what Microsoft is doing with Game Pass is, well, these games that we're making that's exclusive to our console, that's not going to any other console, that's first party, they're going straight to Game Pass. Regular price is $60, but you can either do Game Pass or you could pay full price. But if you have Game Pass and you still want to buy those games, you get the discount. So there is a win-win situation for people who don't have Game Pass, who do have Game Pass. Like, you still are able to own your games, you still are able to buy physical, but it's more so these games are in Game Pass also. Game Pass, Microsoft sold Game Pass to the point that Game Pass like is bigger than Xbox in a way. Game Pass is more synonymous with Microsoft or Xbox, or it's more synonymous with where Xbox is going, or where Microsoft is taking their gaming division. That's what we're going to call it. We're going to call it Microsoft Gaming Division, right? This is where they're taking the gaming division, is to be able to be accessible anywhere. It's no longer just the console. And I've said this in a previous video. It's no longer about the console. It's more so about how, where, when you can game. And that's it. That's all I want to talk about was E3, which, if I was rating it, Microsoft show, I would give it a solid 8.5. It was a solid show. It was nothing. There was nothing mind blowing necessarily. Halo looked phenomenal. Halo Infinite multiplayer looked phenomenal. But there wasn't anything necessarily mind blowing. Everything was solid, and I think that's, for now, that's enough in a way. But I think now we're starting to see that future of Microsoft gaming division. We're not going to call it Xbox anymore. We're going to call it their gaming division, because their gaming division is more than Xbox. It's PC, and it's in Game Pass kind of brings that world together. So yeah, great show from Microsoft. I think, like I said, an 8.5. Game Pass got a 10 out of 10. The whole showcase got an 8.5. And we just kind of have to buckle up a little bit more, and we have to wait. Waiting game is we're going back into waiting. But I think what they're doing with Halo, what they're doing with just their whole ecosystem is phenomenal. Yeah, and that's all I wanted to talk about. I said that earlier, but we're done now. Make sure you guys check out Level 1 Gaming, where you get all your gaming news, and I'll be writing over there. KP CeeJ out.